Today, on Be Something Wonderful, belief is not required. To manifest all you desire, just do this. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video this morning. There were a lot of questions on yesterday's video about Neville Goddard's imaginal technique called revision. Revising events that have happened that didn't turn out the way you wanted it. It wasn't your desired outcome. And the idea of revision is to revise it, reimagine it, recreate it the way you would have liked it to happen, the way you would have liked it to be. And we talked about this idea that really you're revising reality in every moment. You're revising the past, present, and future by determining who you are in this moment. Your identity in the present creates the past and creates the future, creates you in all time. That the past is not the source of anything. And the future is already there, it's already created. It all exists now, past, present, and future. The idea of time is an experience, it's a conceptual experience. That all events are happening now. And with your focus and awareness of who you are, in your relationship to the world and others, your assumptions about the world and others and yourself, in other words, your self-concept, creates who you were and who you will be, creates you in all time, creates your entire life experience, past, present, and future. So you do change the past. In other words, you move to a reality, to an alternative parallel reality, where that past, that linear past that you believe in is different. Because you're different in the present. That linear past that goes with this new identity is different. Right? You have a new linear past, or a new horizontal experience that makes sense with who you're being now. And that is the same with your future, quote, experience. It's all created now by who you are in this present moment. So we talked about that. And a lot of questions came up about belief, separation from my desires, feeling non-fulfillment. How do I believe? Is this possible? What can I revise? What can I revise? Can I revise the death of somebody? All of these questions came up, right? Especially this idea of I'm trying to believe it. How do I increase my faith? How do I believe more? How do I move to that? Well, guys, we're going to hit these questions today and more. So remember, separation from what you desire and non-fulfillment is not real or a reality. Rather, it's created in the moment you look to the outside world for evidence of who you are, trying to believe and know that you already have it and are it. Right? This is where those questions came up. Is this possible or is that possible? You're looking for the outside world to tell you what to believe or what's possible, or for evidence that you are that person you want to be, or for evidence that you do have what you want to have. All of that creates a reality of disbelief, of separation, of non-fulfillment. Do you see this? Instead, identify so powerfully and so completely with your inner reality and higher self that you become indifferent to 3D conditions or any other outcome other than the absolute fulfillment of all your desires here and now and always. Right? See through the changing content of inner thoughts and feelings and outer people, events, and circumstances, those changing conditions. And see to the context. Look to the context. Identify with the context of that changeless reality within. We look at the content of 3D reality, right? This projected image from within us, right? Looking for fulfillment there. Instead, look to the context of who you really are. That changeless reality, that multidimensional individual, right? Stop trying to believe it. When you try to believe it, you create a reality and an identity of disbelief. We're going to hit these ideas today and more. How do I believe it, right? Well, to persist in believing is to be it and have it. That's all belief is. You can suspend disbelief and belief altogether and go to your knowing. Just persist in being it and having it. Belief's not required when you already have it and you already are it. Do you see it? Belief, when you have it already, or when it's already yours and you're already that person, belief is not required. You go to the knowing. How do I know then, you're going to say? How do I know that it's already mine? That I'm already the person or identity that I desire to be? Because you desire it. That's how you know. Because you want it. That's how you know. Because you can think of it. That's how you know. Because you can imagine it and dream it. That's how you know you're already that person. That you already have it, because you wouldn't be able to dream it, desire it, want it, think of it, imagine it, unless you were already that person you wanted to be, unless you already had it all. You can't think of, imagine, or dream of being someone you're not already. So you must be it if you can dream it, imagine it, or think of it. Right? You can't desire something that's not already yours, or in other words, that's already within your awareness or consciousness. Do you see it? If it's in your awareness and consciousness, and you are that awareness and consciousness, which is that knowing, then knowing is all there is. That's all that's required, because you are that knowing. You are that awareness within which everything is known. Hear it again. Right? You can't desire something that's not already yours. Or in other words, within your awareness or consciousness. Because, and so if it's in your awareness or consciousness, you are awareness and consciousness. You are that knowing, that intelligence. So knowing is all that's required, because you are the knowing. Because you are the awareness or the consciousness within which everything is known. Whew, powerful today. So remember, we talk about seeing. When people say, well, seeing is believing, no, believing is seeing, but you can dump both of those ideas and go to suspend disbelief, suspend belief altogether. You can suspend both of these ideas and just go to knowing. Know it, because you are the knowing itself. Do you see? It is true that believing is seeing, right? And that seeing is not believing, right? Because we want to see it to believe it. Right? And then spiritual coaches and teachers and gurus say believing is seeing, but you can even suspend both of those ideas, both belief and disbelief, and just go to the knowing, because you are that knowing itself. You are that intelligence itself. That's how you know. Knowing equals awareness equals consciousness. Is that I am. This is your true beingness. This beingness, this knowingness, this consciousness and awareness creates reality. Because it is reality. All of it is all that is. It creates reality because it is reality. So if you know it, then it is reality. It must be. It's that whole idea of trying to believe, and whether I'm believing or not believing, that creates it, the awareness that it's not there. And awareness is the only reality. Right? There's no time, no space, no change, no thing other than what you're aware of or conscious of, other than what you know as consciousness or knowing itself. Wow. There's no time, no space, no change, no thing other than what you are aware of or conscious of, other than what you know as consciousness or knowing itself. Whew. There's nothing else but that. You are all that. So, therefore, who and what you are aware of being, or what you give time, space, and attention to, becomes and is your only reality. Do you see it? Because that's how that awareness or consciousness manifests. It manifests in the idea of your attention. You giving time, space, and attention, and creating change in that changeless reality. Your experience of that changeless reality that I am, what you give your time, space, and attention to. So see what you want and desire as real. Because your seeing, your perceiving, and your knowing is the only reality. Your experience, those perceptions, those images, those sensations, within that knowing or that awareness that you are, is the only reality and is fulfillment. Your experience itself is fulfillment. Those images, those sensations, those perceptions that take place within that knowingness that you are is fulfillment. So see it the way you want to see it. Perceive it the way you want to see it, because that's the only reality. Stop asking, is it possible? Can I manifest it? How do I believe? How do I increase my faith? How do I know? Just be the knowing itself. Now, I don't mind when you ask these questions. I'm always happy to hit them again. But I'm saying that if you go to the knowing, because when you ask these questions, you create a reality of it not being possible or not knowing, or whether it can manifest or not. Go to the knowing that it is manifested. Go to the knowing that you don't need belief. Go to the knowing that you are faith. You are conviction itself. You are the knowing itself. I am is the conviction, is the knowing, is the faith. So, like the apostles, you're crying out to your own I am awareness, the one and only Lord of your reality, entire life experience. Remember when the apostles, Philip was asking, Lord, increase our faith. Crying out to Jesus, increase our faith. You're crying out to your own I am awareness, absolute conviction and faith that I am, and saying, increase yourself. It can't, there's no answer to that. That's why Jesus didn't answer that directly. Right? He started talking about the mustard seed. Because you are that faith. You can't increase or be more, hear this, than who you are right now. You can't increase or be more than that. Faith and conviction of being is absolute. That's why Jesus didn't answer. It's absolute beingness. It can't be added to or taken away from. It can't be increased or it can't be lost. You can't lose the faith. You can't increase faith. You are faith. That I am awareness is faith. It's total absolute conviction. You cannot lose it, increase it, have it taken away or add to it. It's the absolute faith in knowing that I am who and what I am conscious of being no matter what. I create my own reality and experience. There's no other rule, there's no other law, there's no other reality than the law of being, the law of God, the law of who you are, the law of I am. That's powerful today. Jesus, your I am awareness, doesn't answer the apostles and instead points you back to your own I am awareness, your own knowing. This is what Jesus says in Luke 17:6. If you had faith as a mustard seed, you can say to that mulberry tree, be pulled up by the roots and be planted in the sea, and it would obey you. Remember, Jesus wasn't pointing to a small amount of faith. Some think it's the idea that it's a tiny mustard seed. It's that a mustard seed is absolute. Within that seed is the plan of fulfillment. Within that seed is a mustard tree or a mustard plant. Right? A mustard seed knows it's a mustard seed and is conscious of being a mustard seed and only a mustard seed. It's conscious of being who it really is, who it knows itself to be. That's what we're talking about. That's your faith, your absolute faith that you're a multidimensional being. When you say I am, you're invoking the words of God. You're invoking the conviction of God. The absolute limitlessness of God when you say I am. So it's not a small amount of faith. It's you as source. It's absolute faith. It's absolute knowing. It's beyond belief. It's beyond disbelief. It's beyond conditional faith. A mustard seed knows it's a mustard seed and will grow into a mustard plant or a mustard tree no matter what. Right? Can I revise death? This is what the comment on the channel. It hurts a lot and my mental health isn't good. But I just want to know. Can I manifest him to come back or not? This, I think, is an SP. Right? Yes or no? You are asking yes or no. Just give me an answer. Right? Some people told me I can, but others told me I can't. Again, looking out to the 3D world for the answers, for your belief, to tell you what you should believe and what you shouldn't believe. Right? You're looking outside your I am awareness for conviction that doesn't exist. You are absolute conviction. You're the mustard seed here. So let's hit this idea. So this idea that it hurts, my mental health isn't good, but I just want to know. I want a yes or no. People told me yes, some told me no. So this whole idea, the question is never can I revise or manifest this or that. The answer is always yes. So the question doesn't make sense. You're always revising reality. You're always manifesting. It's not whether you can or can't. Right? The question isn't what others say you can or can't do either. Or what's possible or not possible. The question is, who do you say that I am? In Mark 8:29, Jesus asks his disciples, his apostles, who do you say? Who do people say I am? And remember that the apostles weren't talking about, well, maybe it's Jeremiah or one of the prophets or John the Baptist. They're all saying that. You're looking to others to answer that question. Just like the disciples saying, they say you're John the Baptist or Jeremiah or one of the prophets. It's none of that. No one can tell you who you are but you. That's why Jesus asked that question. You, as I am awareness. No one can tell you what to believe but you. You are belief itself. What are you giving time, space, and awareness to? That's the question. That's why Jesus asked the question. To what? To whom are you giving time, space, and awareness? To death, to loss, to hurt, to emotional turmoil? Right? Because you ask that question, say, I'm hurting. Right? And I'm in a lot of pain. And I get that. I get that idea. I understand the experience. But you can't see it from there because you're giving your attention to an idea of death, that there was a death. That the idea of losing someone is possible. You're giving that idea to that. Right? That idea to that physical loss. Instead, give your attention, your time, space, and attention to life, to love, to eternal fulfillment. Then all things are possible. That's how you revise it. You can't revise it from only seeing death and loss and hurt and feeling mentally anguished. You can't see it from there. You can't communicate with the unseen from that reality. You want to see it from love, from light, from eternal fulfillment. No one else and no other can give you a yes or no. That's why asking others makes no sense, right? Like the apostles pleading to Jesus, your own I am awareness, Lord, show us the Father and it's sufficient for us. That's what you're saying. Just give me a yes or no and that's sufficient for me. Right? But what does Jesus say that show us the Father? That when you see me, you see the Father. When you look into yourself within, you see everything you want. So all things are possible. It was very clear in Scripture. It's not whether you can revise or manifest it. It's not about possibility. All things are possible. It's about probability. From your state of assumptions, from your state of being, from what you're thinking and feeling and believing and assuming. Is it probable for you? That's the only question, because all things are possible, right? So let's hit this a little bit more. Then Jesus answers, he has seen me, has seen the Father. So there's your answer. You want just a yes or no. The question is, it doesn't come from others. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from anyone else. If you look within, you have the answers, that I amness. The Father, you're one with the Father. The Father is greater than I, but you're one with the Father. You're one with that awareness. Yes, it's greater than your 3D personality. It's greater than the limitations that you believe in. That's what it means by the Father is greater than I, right? Greater than I am. Greater than my focus right now in 3D reality. But that Father is within you. That limitless reality is within you. I think one of you are asking that it's not about gender. When the Scripture talks about the Father, they're not talking about gender as we think of it. The male and female, or the father and wife. The father and wife, we're talking about creative principles. So I hear your point, but that's not what we're talking about here. The Father is source. And and using that word is perfectly powerful and acceptable. So you're on the wrong track there. You're thinking more in linear terms. I just wanted to address that, right? With that linear mind, like, oh my God, a father and mother, that's male and female. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the creative principle that Father is that one source, is that one reality, is that one that one absolute reality, right? It's not about the gender as we think of it in 3D terms. It's that absolute source. So you are the one and only source of what's possible or not possible. It doesn't come from others. Stop looking out there into others for the answers, for proof, for your own conviction of being. It doesn't make any sense. I am that. Instead of seeing and perceiving your desires as something possible or not possible to create manifest experiences of fulfillment in the future, accept them as gifts from God. Instead of seeing and perceiving your desires as something possible or not possible to create manifest experiences of fulfillment in the future, Accept them as gifts of God. Accept them with gratitude and love. Allow, embody, and become what you desire, versus something that is being denied or held apart from you that you may or may not perceive or experience depending on your inner and outer conditions. Do you see? You're holding it out there, right? Embody it, embrace it, become what you desire, versus thinking it's something outside of you that's being denied you or held apart from you, or may not come, or you may or may not experience, depending on whether you have your thoughts and feelings right, or whether the 3D conditions are right. None of that matters. You are the source. You are one with the Father, one with the source, one with the absolute isness of reality, right? That's what we're talking about. No one can be aware for you. No one can know for you. I am is all you. And so when you're asking, can I do this or that or revise this or that, it's an impossible question. That's the only thing that is impossible, because you are that I am awareness. So you get to answer that own question, right? No one can be aware for you. No one can be I am. No one can, when you say I am, no one can say, no, you're not. You are that absolute mustard seed, right? That absolute faith, that absolute conviction. No one can know for you. I am is all you. God can't give you what you're not already giving yourself, right? Son, you're always with me, and all that is mine is yours. Luke 15:31 in the prodigal son. It's already yours. So God can't give you any more than everything. You already have been given everything, the kingdom. What more do you want? Allow it, acknowledge it, right? Others in the 3D world have nothing to offer you or give you. The 3D world and others can only reflect what you're offering and giving yourself, what you're assuming about yourself, others, in reality. That's all you can get. Looking for answers and trying to manifest it from out there is exhausting and emotionally draining, as one of my clients said a few days ago, right? Yes. Because there's nothing out there. That's why it's exhausting. That's why it's draining. You're trying to manifest something that's not out there. It's within you, so that can be exhausting. You're the one and only source, consciousness, awareness, and knowing of what's possible and what's believable and what's reality and what's not. You are the one and only source. You're the one and only source of conscious awareness, knowing of what's possible or what's believable, what's reality and what's not. But that's why belief is not required. To manifest all you desire, just do this. Just go to the knowing. Stop asking others. Stop looking out there and stay and go within. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, for joining us on TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and for being part of our membership channel. If you're a member, thank you for being a member. If you're not a member and you're interested in checking it out, there's a link below. It has specific content for the channel. There's another video coming out for the channel. Also a live stream tomorrow morning, exclusively broadcast on the membership channel at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. I'm going to be answering some of your questions that you've been sending to info@besomethingwonderful.com. It's also a chance for us to talk together live, right? And chat. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin in the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas. Until next time, we'll see you soon.